Like, let's take worship for an example, right? Like we can come on Sunday and get our Jesus praise on, which is not hard to do when you have incredible students and leaders like these guys on stage leading us, right? But if we come and we sing music, we never miss a Sunday, but we come and we worship because it's what we do, or listening to worship on our way to and from work because it lifts our spirit, or because of the way the band plays, or because we like that it helps us on tough days. But we never truly worship Jesus, then we miss the why, the mission of worship. That we would praise Jesus and make him known. These are all good things, church, but not the main thing. And see, for us, even as a pastor, it's easy for me to forget this because it's easy to become busy doing things for Jesus, right? Like at the church, let me tell you, there's always more good things to do for Jesus. That's not the problem. The thing is that if I allow myself to get so busy that it eats into my relationships with Jesus, with students, and with leaders, let me tell you, I'm missing the heart of what I'm doing, making Jesus known. And I believe that's why the why matters so much, church. And in some ways, I think it matters more than just what we do, because we can do all the right things, but with the wrong mission, with the wrong heart, and we miss Jesus along the way. Like, I want to circle back to that text I shared from earlier, Matthew chapter 5, verses 13 through 15, when Jesus says this, that you are the salt of the earth. But if salt's lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It's no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled under people's feet. You are the light of the world, a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to the whole house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. Think about it. As you read Jesus' words, he's talking about mission. It's not just about what we do, rather than why we do it, right? Like we can see that in there. And I can't tell you the numbers of times I've taught this passage to students over the years, and I'm and I focus on what we do, and I miss the whole heart of it. Like, I'm like, we need to be salt and light. Here are 3 ways you can be salt and light. Here are ways in which things that we can do to live up to that. But if we listen to Jesus' words, all of it, he says, you're salt and you're light so that you would make me known. You are salt and light, so when you come into the room, the flavor changes. That when you come in the room, the light of this place changes so that those whom you love, that those who you meet, that those who you would see in your circles that are far from me would come to know me. Our mission is to make Jesus known, church. That is our mission. It is our why we do what we do. And let me tell you, doesn't that come down to our hearts? The question deep in there, why? Every parent who's ever had a 5-year-old might hate that question, right? Because you've heard it so many times. You tell any child under 5 what to do, and it's why. And you tell them, and then they go, well, why? Then you answer that question, why? And it's not because they're being disrespectful. They are truly, genuinely curious, right? Like there's something inquisitive about it. And isn't this the heart of childlike faith? It's not to be some defiant thing. It's that we'd know the heart of the Father. And somewhere down the line, I don't know what it was, whether it was our parents. I was sometimes taught to sit down, shut up, and do as I'm told. And I stopped asking why. But it's funny because God doesn't get upset about being asked why. Read every time God speaks to his people, he reminds them over and over again of the why to make him known. It's what he does. And he takes delight in asking why.
Thanks so much for listening. We pray that God touched your heart in that. And we know that he is faithful in using his word through the power of his Spirit to grab hold of us. So we pray that God had a word for you there. and that you step forward in faith in what he has for you.
One of our prayers for all sermons is that if you hear something specifically from John or I, just us, may that decrease, may you ignore it. Our prayer is you'd hear God's voice in his word. He genuinely is speaking. And if you'd like more of the sermon, follow the link below. It will take you to the full cut of the sermon. And with that, we say, God bless you.